Hey, what is up everyone? So we got a brand new Sea of Thieves update today, and in this video we're going over everything you need to know about the January update for Sea of Thieves. So for this update, we're really wrapping up Season 14. We're getting the final piece of content for Season 14, which was something that was supposed to come out a couple months ago, but then it got pushed back a few times. And now finally we have the Mimic Dart. The Mimic Dart is one of the more interesting things added for Season 14. It's something that I'm not really sure how I'm going to use yet, but it is very interesting and kind of a surprising addition to the game. So the Mimic Dart is a new type of dart for the blowpipe, and this dart allows players to transform themselves into the appearance of that of other players or skeletons. Based off the patch notes, it doesn't seem like you can do it for stuff like ocean crawlers, which makes sense because of the different shapes of all of them, as well as other different creatures in the game. So right now it seems like it's only players and skeletons. You're able to mimic someone for up to 2 minutes, and during that time you're able to interact with the entire world. You can take damage and deal damage, which I think is very interesting. I would have figured that taking damage would have taken you out of your mimic ability, but it seems like it just keeps it on. So that's actually a lot more powerful than I was expecting them to make it. And if you want to get rid of the mimic effect before the 2 minutes are up, you can just fire another mimic dart into a solid surface like the ground or a wall or anything like that. So when you see a player that is mimicking someone else, you'll notice that they'll look exactly like the person they're mimicking, except their gamertag will still be their own. But the color that's associated with the gamertag will match whatever you expect them to look like. So for example, if this rival player mimics your crewmate, the color will match the same as your other crewmates. So this can be very powerful, so you want to keep an eye on the actual gamertag and not the color itself. I think this is especially going to be useful for taking down Alliance servers, where you're mainly looking for that Alliance color, and now this basically allows any player to blend in with that. Another interesting thing with the Mimic Dart is that you can actually chain the mimicking effect. So essentially, if you have one player that is mimicking someone else, you can mimic that player, and then basically you're all mimicking the same person. Another interesting change with the Mimic Dart is that when you are mimicking someone, you will only have a select few amount of emotes that you can do. Not sure exactly why this is. Maybe there is some kind of behind the scenes reasons why you don't have access to your full emote radial, but once that mimicking effect ends, you'll be able to have access to the rest of your emotes like usual. To go along with the Mimic Dart, there's a handful of new combinations to complete, which will reward you with the Lucky Hand Blowpipe as a reward. Another gameplay change that we have with this update is with the grapple gun, and I think this is a huge change. It actually makes the grapple gun a lot more useful. And this change is so that if you miss your shot when you're using the grapple gun, it will not consume one of your ammo slots if you miss. So this is really good. I've had many times when I've been using the grapple gun where, since you can't really tell as easily how far it's going to go or if your shot's going to land, I would often end up wasting a lot of ammo. Now keep in mind, even though it doesn't consume ammo for missed shots, you will still need to reload if you missed your shot. Another gameplay improvement that they did, which I think is going to be a big deal in terms of the performance for the game, is with trinkets. So they changed the way that trinkets work so that they don't impact performance as much, and they're basically loaded into the game differently. If you've ever been playing and you had like another ship come by you and then your game just starts lagging like crazy and you're just having all sorts of performance problems, it's most likely due to them being a captain ship or both of you being a captain ship, and the game's trying to load all those trinkets in. So in my opinion, this is a great thing. I'm hoping that it has significant impact in gameplay performance, and I guess we'll have to wait and see if this actually ended up being a big benefit. Another interesting change in terms of performance improvements is that those ammo pouches that are left from AI enemies when you defeat them will now only exist in the world for up to 10 minutes, which I think it's a good change. Honestly, I've had many times where I've gone and, fought at a skeleton fort or a fleet or whatever, and you just have all the different little ammo pouches scattered across the island. You don't really need all of those, and I think 10 minutes is plenty of time if you did need it to be able to go and grab it. Outside of that, we got some new outpost cosmetics. Nothing really too interesting in my opinion, but it goes along with the Lucky Hand set, and we got a new compass, spyglass, pocket watch, speaking trumpet, tankard, bucket, and lantern for purchase with gold. We also have in the Pirate Emporium a new Cardinal Lodestar set, as well as this month's free emote, which is called Well Obviously. But with that, that covers everything you need to know about this month's update for Sea of Thieves. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Mimic Dart, and if you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.